everyone, and welcome to another week of our weekly sessions. So the topic today is on the obstacles of Buddhist practice. So I'm sure we can all relate to obstacles in our practices, whether it be doubts or restlessness, cravings, you name it, the story of life. So we are very, very grateful to have Chao Khun Keng speaking with us today. Chao Khun Keng, for those who don't know, is a Singaporean monk from the Thai forest tradition of Ajahn Mun Bud-dho. He was ordained in 1987 under the recommendation of Thanissaro Bhikkhu. Luang Por Jiak is the later generation of Luang Por Mun's disciples, was also one of his teachers, and Ajahn Keng was conferred the title of Chao Khun in 2013 by the King of Thailand, and currently Chao Khun Keng is the abbot of Santi Forest Monastery and the president of Palalai Buddhist in Singapore. So we'll begin with a guided meditation and talk by Chao Khun Keng, and then Tina will later facilitate the Q&A sessions towards the end. So over to you, Tina. Oh, sorry, over to you, Chao Khun Keng. Chao Khun.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, let me see. I'm not quite familiar with all this new gadget, so quite.
So if it helps you, Chao Khun, any comments that are made online, I will facilitate that. So you don't have to worry about reading any of the comments. And we can't see you anymore.
Okay.
We can see you now. Yeah, great. So Chao Khun, we now invite you for a guided meditation session.
Well, this morning, I want to relate something about the importance of practicing mindfulness meditation in our daily life. And even though we may be a practitioner all the time, right? But bear in mind, this morning I received a call from my devotee in Malaysia. He just underwent a heart bypass operation, and he was a very devoted Buddhist. The whole family come to the temple every week to do dana and help out with the temple. Now, this morning, the father was in the, I use the word, delirium stage of mind, right? With all the tubes. And he's a retired backhoe operator. So when I asked the doctor to do a live video to see what happened, they were worried since last night until this morning. And just now, this morning, not this morning, about my time here is about 2 something, about a few hours back. His hand was maneuvering the backhoe and sort of like mindless. Like his mind was in a reality of the past. And he was sort of, he doesn't know he was in the hospital with all the tube. And the daughter and the wife was surprised. What happened? What happened? So when I had the video call, I shouted at him. His name is Iwan. So straight away I said, Iwan, this is Ajahn Keng, and he's sort of still inside his reality of the past, driving his backhoe. And after I shouted a few times, I said, back to your body, back to your body, back to your body. Where's your head? Where's your right hand? And slowly he realized, he wake up from his, like the dream of driving his backhoe. I said, back to your body, back to the body. You're in a hospital now. You just underwent an operation. Everything is fine. Back to the body. Now relax, everything. Go and focus the present of the head. Focus the present of the body. Focus the present of the right leg, right hand, left, and then just go round, few round. I just bring him through the scanning of the body a few rounds, and you straight away can see sort of, you know, the kind of relief, the kind of mindfulness back to the body, and sort of, I say, okay, you're back. You say, you look at me, yeah, I'm back. Okay, close your eye, go and sleep. and straight away, the doctor texted to me after the session. She said, thank you very much, Achan. If you never come and suggest, we don't know what to do. We thought, hey, what is happening now? How come he's behaving so weird? I say, no. This is because his mind, he's not mindful enough. His mind is always engaged in this thought moment up in the brain, thinking, non-stop thinking. And he's always thinking about the past or worrying about the future, anticipating. So this is our human problem, right? We can't deny this is our human problem. Yes, we may be talking about practicing meditation, but if you don't have a kind of hands-on, I use the word hands-on or moment-to-moment kind of cultivations, you'll find that most of the time we are being dragged away by the thoughts, the thinking process of the mind to the past or to the future, planning. And it is not wrong, because we human beings got to make use of this thinking to make things materialize, to make it real. But the problem is we are over engaged and we lack of the mindfulness to be able to see, you know, to separate out that, okay, you've got to be mindful. After all you think, but okay, stop, go back to your breath, come back to the body. That's the best way. I use the word that's the best way, because if you were to, I want to relate you back to the Satipatthana, the 4 foundations of mindfulness, which the Lord Buddha encourages, mindfulness of your body. Because the body is something very gross, which you can recall and recollect. You have to close your eye, just watch your hand, right hand, left, your eye, just focus back onto the body, and you start up, yeah, I'm here, back, right? So this is one of the methods, and in our daily life, as you can know, when we walk, yeah, we are just saying, I'm going to the supermarket, but along the way from your house up to the, you see the top moment, you'll be, you know, your mind will be drifting to the left, to the right, blah, blah, blah. And you know, if you're driving, then that's better, because you've got to be careful. You've got to be concentrating on the driving. If not, someone will knock you down or you will not. That's better. But if you're walking, you've got to be mindful. That's why mindfulness is very important in our daily life activities, right? With this training of mindfulness in whatever thing we do, now, then, when we come and meditate, do what we call it formal meditation. When we sit and meditate, then we can find that very easily we can recollect ourselves back to this present moment, and the mind can go into a state of calmness in a very fast space. You know, just focus a few times, scan the body a few times, you see the background noise of distracting thoughts, snap, and just the mind will enter a state of calmness very fast. And it's very amazing, you know, when you say, wow, and you can see how the mind enjoy that state of calmness. You can attain that, and it's a bonus, because right, we don't have to rent, you don't have to pay a fee for it. You got to instill in your daily practice, and you got to put it, we use the word, first thing is you must trust that, okay, this method will work for us, because we are not borrowing anything from outside. No, it's everything within you. You have this awareness, right? You have this body of yours. You have your body of yours. You have this awareness, and you have everything, your faculty, which is very sharp, you know, your hearing, seeing, sight, smelling, ears, everything. So What you do now is you just instill mindfulness. That means just recollect, okay, where's my body? What am I doing now? Oh, I'm standing here. It might sound quite silly. Sometimes when I tell people, you got to throw the question, bring your awareness, bring your mind as thinking, as standard thing back to the present by throwing question. Where's your breath? Where's your body now? And the minute you say, where's your body now? Poof, you're aware, oh, I'm here. And the minute you can be aware only a few seconds, and next moment, pop, it goes up again, right? If you all are practicing meditation, you'll find, we call it the hindrances, or we find the difficulty in subduing our mind, right? So this is something we must have the faith in the practice. That means we must trust that, okay, we just use the method, we have mindfulness, we are fully aware of what we are doing. It's just that, just referring back your attention back to the body. That's all you got to do. That's all. There's nothing extra you have to do. Just be aware back to the body. And as they passes by, you'll find the amazing effect that being mindful moment to moment, your mind will reach a state of calmness very easily, because the minute you're aware, you find that actually you find yourself more alert, right? Very alert. You can be very sharp, you know, because right, you are mentally very focused in this present moment, and that is the practice, the core of the practice, very important. And now, if you want to involve in thinking, just go and think, no problem. Go and think, because we are working in this what do you call it, corporate world. We have to think. For example, for Tina, you got to fight for a case. I'm going to fight for a case. You got to think. If you're a mechanic, you want to repair something, you got to think, what am I going to do? You know, you got to involve that kind of thinking, and that is, we call it skillful thinking, right? Because you want to make things right. But on the other hand, if sometimes thing doesn't quite comes along our way, and something that obstructing our interest, now we might get not so happy, might get angry or furious about certain thing, and you can see inside here, see, the volcano going to erupt, you know, the ash is coming up in the head, still up to the mouth, but it's erupting internally. And you can see, oh, if you're mindful, then you can arrest this kind of very, very sensitive thoughts arising, and you know, oh, no. Yeah. But you cannot deny that you are not thinking about that, of this wholesome or unwholesome thought, because we are human beings. We are not holy beings, right? There's still greed, there's still liking, disliking, there's still hatred, there's still ill will in us. So, but we know that, okay, by harboring this kind of unwholesome thought, it will make me feel uneasy. So by acknowledging that, we'll see that, okay, no, it's a small problem. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. Forget it. Then no problem. But if you are very calculative, you're very particular. Now I must. That's it. This is what's happening in our human world now, right? Our human world. Even though you can be very well educated and whatever kind of belief we have, well, this three demon is within everybody. Greed, hatred, delusion. Now, this greed is greed for what? Greed for name, for fame, for power, for interest. Is it wrong? It's not wrong if we work within the ethics of morality. That means someone must have the power, but you make the good people, for example, good people to instill good authority, good education, good knowledge, morality into mankind. I think that's good. But if if it's overtaken by greed, of some vested interest that's happening now, what we can see around the world, that how come mankind doesn't learn the lesson? We know that certain things that we do were inflicting more pain to ourselves and to other people. We knew, but because of what? The greed. The greed for power, for status, for nominations of certain things. And that's why this is what's happening now. When we meditate, then we can see very clearly that that's why the Buddha says, our mind is the forerunner, is the chief of everything in our life, right? Whether good or evil, we are the chief. We cannot deny. And why do we say that? If you were to look into our human problem nowadays, around the world, take for example, we look at ourselves. When we want something, right? We want something, we work towards something, and we have been obstructed with all the effort we have put in. Now, do we say that, never mind, take it easy, we'll get, how come this thing happened? Why? You get very furious, you want to get things done, and you cannot, I keep applying and you get rejected. Why? So you can see this kind of frustration in human beings. And it's happening just within ourselves. You can see this type of mind state already been surfacing. Now we take it to a higher level of someone that can hold higher authority up there. You think they got special mind than us? Same. They have the same thing like us. They'll be very, but they are very important because the decision they can make, they can create heaven and hell for mankind. Right? You see, when you see, why I want to bring this topic, you look at Ukraine war recently, I think the whole world knows, we are informed, and everybody is telling the part of story. I look at it and say, why don't they use the rocket money and look at themselves, develop their own country? I think the world will be a better place, but no, because right, there's team A and team B who is fighting for power within their country. And this team A, team B will look for supporter out of the country. And this is why it get divided like human being like us, right? Like us. But for us, we don't have that problem because we know that this is our mind can escalate into this kind of level if we are not trained. You think the people out there, they don't know all this theory that I'm talking now? They knew. They know. They are all very bright, brilliant people. But why? These things still happen because of what? Greed. Because of greed. One word, greed. And greed. And greed for what? Power. Greed for name, fame, power, gain. See? And that's the problem of mankind. That's why if we practice meditation, we find that it takes time. It takes quite long time. If you always practice mindfulness of your body and mindfulness of your breathing, you can find very easily that, you can arrest, I should say, this mental thought moment that's arising in you, very sharp. Liking, disliking within you, emotional part of you, escalating, subsiding, liking, disliking, all these things happen within our own mind. And now, who are we trying to tell other people? No, we can't. We cannot look. It is only me, myself, that can witness and see for myself within my own mind. This kind of mind state is escalating, and how am I going to subdue? First thing is got to subdue. You can't watch it. A lot of people say, just watch it and you go away. You watch, after you follow it, you won't go away. You escalate because why? Mindfulness doesn't mean you are mindfulness, okay. Because just by mere mindfulness and watching it, it doesn't have what we call the mental joys of meditation. In meditation, for example, in concentration practice, if you know how to focus an object, for example, mindfulness of breath or mindfulness of Bud-dho, repeat the word Bud-dho. But I want to emphasize now is the Bud-dho that we are going to meditate on, repetitions of Bud-dho. It's not a kind of slow Bud-dho. We repeat fast. Bud-dho, high frequency kinds of repetition Bud-dho, so that in a very short time, it can bring your mind that is running wild. The wild thoughts can be at a very short time being subdued because of the intense of your mindfulness. This called Bud-dho, not Bud-dho too slow. You gotta go fast, like a machine gun, you know. You should. So why? So as to break the flow of the thoughts. Now, a lot of people are using, nowadays we call it a mental study that, this is no good for the health. No. We're not looking at health problem. We're looking at the first thing we should do is how to stop this thinking first. When you stop this thinking process, then your mind, this aware, will have enough rest, will have the rest. When your mind stops thinking, poof, you see there's a stop of thoughts. The stop thinking of the thought moment, you just jam, poof. Temporarily, I use the word temporarily, doesn't mean that you won't think anymore after that. You will think, but you, at the very least, the individual experience that moment of peace that it can arise in the practitioner. That kind of experience, that kind of result, we want that individual to experience so that he can have the confidence that, oh yeah, I can see it. It's not that every time we meditate and it's not happening anything. It's sort of, it's just thought, thinking non-stop. And we got so distracted and so disheartened. After a while, it's only pain and ache all over the place and no mental joy, right? In meditations, we need to have a kind of achieve the kind of mental joy. So ultimately, you feel happy, you feel relaxed, you feel joyful, even though your mind may not be fully into concentration, but you know that this distorting thought that has been troubling us has lost its influence over our mind. That means we are not so agitated by the thoughts that's surfacing the mind. We have a shield. We have a shield, protecting shield now. And this is the power of your what? Concentration is protecting us. And this is very important. And why I'm sharing this thing is because of this, just now the telephone call, I bet my talk with this talk. That's why when Xi-Ling 是吗? Xi-Ling, that lady that contacted me.
Oh, Sin, he's a gentleman. Sin.
Sin something?
Sin.
Hold on. This Sinsun. Sinsun. Xinxun. No? But anyway, she contacted me of what is the topic. I said, I'm going to give it a topic because I give a topic will be a topic from the books. There'll be another person repeating the same old story from the books. And I would prefer more of a live, hands-on talk, because that I can relate something that's happening just now and how important it is to be by practicing meditation. Where's the benefit and what benefit you can benefit from meditation? I think there's more fruitful and more hands-on. It's so hands-on. But if reading from books, it's too dull. Every time it's the same old thing, repeating again and again. And at the end of the day, you'll be like, so how am I going to practice now? but if by reminding you now, right, I can believe that, oh yeah, you said that, oh yeah, it sounds, it's very, very reasonable and sensible that, yeah, I can practice by just like realizing my body, yeah. Even though it's a momentary kind of referring back to the body, but you can really feel that you are a human being. A lot of people in this present moment, they live the life of zombie. Yeah, even though I was invited to a restaurant this morning, yeah, to have my lunch, and I can see people when they're taking the food, they're still flicking through the handphone. I was thinking, doesn't he or she enjoy the food? What taste is it? I don't think so. They enjoy. They sort of swallow everything, and you ask them, hey, what are you drinking? Food. What food? Then they will start to That's the problem with our modern society nowadays. They cannot leave their handphone, even the food. You know, they can't even say, okay, for food time, shut the handphone, enjoy your food. Is it tasty? Is it hot? Is it spicy? Is it sweet, sour? You must really taste the food and enjoy the food and swallow the food and full. You just go through the motion, bloop, 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 and finish. Let's go for the break, go out, and you live the life of habitual living. You doesn't live life at all. You like zombie. I use the word zombie. They're like zombie. They do things because of sequence, because of pattern living. And one day you change things, they got crazy. Yeah. So someone ever asked me, conduct this retreat, and I said, I got to confiscate all your handphone. No, you cannot confiscate your handphone. I said, there's no retreat. First thing is do away with the handphone, because that is the more distracting gadget nowadays in our modern life. Right? A lot of people suffer a lot of sickness because of this handphone, and they doesn't know. They doesn't know where the headache comes from. I say, of course, it's from the handphone. No lah. I say, well, no, you're holding the handphone the whole day. You see, your left hand, right hand never exercise, left hand exercise all day, and your head down this way. So there's a poor tension on the muscle, and what you suffer? You suffer frozen. What do you call that? A shoulder, this wrist problem, right? So all these are self-inflicting problem. We human beings create all this problem, but we say no. This is what the doctor are there for. No. But anyway, why I want to relate all these things to you all, even though it's not happening to you all, but it's a good what do you call it, knowledge to be shared. Because I'm a Buddhist monk, I have access to all modes of lifestyle. You know, from the beggar to the minister, I have access to all these people, and they experience the same stressful state of mind that has been triggered by greed, triggered by anger, triggered by delusions. Even though they may be holding very high posts, but yet they can be commanding 200,000 people, but same thing, they are facing the problem that you and myself is facing, this mental problem. It's just that the mode of responsibility is more heavier, that's all. Now, So in another word, if we were to, okay, now, so how can meditation help us? Right? It should help you. Sure, definitely it will help us. A lot of people, they just like to ask questions, speaker after speaker, the same question, but because of the lack of the hands-on practice, the practical part of the practice, that's why the doubts, they can't clear this doubt. It's very hard for them to clear the doubt. They keep reading books and they cannot find the book that can satisfy their questioning. That, no, I don't want those questions. Because it's not on the books. The book is written by someone else. It's in the past. Your problem now is in the present problem, right? And it's manifesting, is harboring in your heart. And look here, we cannot be using, we can use the principle of what the Buddha taught us. But we cannot wind back. During the Buddha's time, we are like that. So no, you can't wind back. You got to, okay, how are we going to be more sensible and more practical? How to apply the Buddha's teaching in this modern society nowadays? Because why? During the Buddha's time, same human being, different costume, different language, different custom. Modern time, Australia, Singapore, right? Same thing, we are human beings. Our mind, we have this brain, we have this awareness, we have feeling, we have body, right? We have memories. The same faculty we still have. And that's why the Buddha's teaching is still very, very practical for people nowadays. It's just that, this is something from India, it's not applicable now. No, it's the same. It's the same, It's just like the packaging is different from old costume to new costume nowadays. That's all. But same thing. In whatever situation we are in, if we are life-threatening and we are not happy, we can see things is harboring within ourselves. We can see the unhappiness, the worries, the fear, the unseen. All these things is a kind of very torturing thought, mind state that's haunting us all the while, and we can't find a way out. We cannot find a way out. We try to read books, you try to read books, and you try to get things. You ask speaker after speaker, but the most important, at the end of the day, reading books is just to let you have we call it Sotamaya Panya, basic knowledge, right? And then after reading the books, we think about it. Cinta Maya Panya, recollect. Quite sensible. Not sensible. Rubbish. Okay, I can accept it. So after that, you put into action, you meditate, you apply the Buddha's Satipatthana in your daily life, walking, sitting, eating, going to the toilet, every moment in your life, just be aware of what you're doing, and you see, someone come across, you can see, you got very angry, you see the anger arising, and you said, no, it's okay. Cool, it's okay. Then, okay. Or you have been harboring this unsatisfactory in your heart for a long time ago, and one day it just exploded. And the anger just exploded in you. And you can see how horrible it is, how you feel tremble, whole body trembling, you'll be shouting, yelling, that you'll be keeping this emotion for so long, and today I'm going to blow it out, and you shout, hey, what happened? What's happening now? So this training is very good for mankind, and with what we call it, the 5 hindrances. Now I want to cover today is the 5 hindrances. The first one is what? Kama chanta. In Bali word, you call it kama chanta. Kama chanta is called sensual desire, right? And what is sensual desire? What is sensual desire? Sensual desire means you're longing for sensory glands, the enjoyment. For example, you are in a meditation class, the aircon got broke down, and you see how grumbly you are, curse and swear in your heart. What, man, they should check the aircon before, and blah, 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 going on and on. So anger, or you have doubts, you have this house. The cushion is so hard to get a better cushion, thicker cushion, and so forth. So under kama chanta is sensual pleasure, longing for the feeling on bodily feeling, food, your food, right? Good food, good bed, everything must be good. Anything that comes along against you, you feel uncomfortable, you can't put up with things that doesn't go along with you. Sometimes we have to, for example, a lot of people, they say that, hey, Ajahn, I want to go to the temple. Can I go? I say, yeah, you must understand it's a Buddhist temple. It's not a hotel. So you must be mentally prepared that it's a Buddhist temple. It's everything very simple. Don't expect to be the level like a hotel, like that. I say, yeah. It's a Buddhist temple. So these are the things when we call a kama chanta. Too hot. Oh, the weather is so hot. We can't do it. The weather is too cold. It's too wet. It's too early. It's too late. A lot of excuse. The place is this, and it's all full of complaint. And this is the hindrances that hinder us in our practice. So now, for sensual pleasure, how are we going to overcome it? How are we going to overcome it? So we got to first thing is we use the word khanti. Khanti is patience and understanding, guiding our senses. Whatever thoughts, whatever feeling arises, just watch it. Oh, okay, just try to make good and moderation your food, and associate with good companions. This is very important. Because why? If you associate with the fools, then these people will always, follow the way of the defilement. Then you can't practice, right? Then the second one is we call it the ill will, payabat. Payabat, ill will. That means you like to harbor the kind of unwholesome thought in yourself. Ill will can be anger, can be jealousy, can be all sort of ill will. You see somebody got so jealous, got so frustrated, even though nobody is offending you, by just this thing just happened in you, and you got to be careful, right? You got to be careful. This ill will. Sometimes if you mistreat, if you don't know how to pamper yourself a bit, this thing will happen. That's why for ill will, we would want people to cultivate the thoughts of loving kindness. Loving kindness. You got to cultivate the thoughts of loving. It's very important. Loving kindness. Loving kindness is very important. Because if you have this ill will in you, you always feel angry, feel unsatisfactory over everything. It's very hard for you to meditate. So in order to use the word de-escalate the tensions, de-escalate the tension, that means de-escalate the tension on your mind. You cultivate loving kindness by just telling yourself, may I be well and happy, please don't get angry, please be happy. Just keep repeating this we call it words to yourself. May I be well and happy, may I be free from all stress and pain, may I be free from animosity, may I be free from oppressions, may I be free from trouble, may I look after myself with this. You find yourself better after repeating for about 15, 20 minutes, or maybe a long whole day until you find this uneasy, frustrating feeling in your heart. Disband. Then you find that, oh, finally, finally, I don't get so angry. Finally, so this is you. It's not easy. Yeah? Sometimes just you thought it's over, but the sight of the person or the sound of the person triggers straight away. The anger will arise straight away. So you got to wash over your mind. That's why mindfulness again. Mindfulness is the guidance, right? Mindfulness. Don't get your heart burned because of the state of mind that's triggered by anger, right? Okay, now we move on to the third one. Downness and drowsiness. We call it tinimitta. Tinimitta means you meditate and you just like to fall asleep, and you don't know why. What's the problem? Why I meditate and I always fall asleep? Now, the reason you fall asleep so easily because sometimes you use your brain too much. You think so much. You may be thinking about your jobs, your work. You may be engaging in this thinking process too much. So when you start to meditate, you find your mind just want to rest. Because the breath is a very calming, we call it antidote for restlessness, the breath. Take for example, you see now every time you see someone, even the medical world, right? When people go into trouble, into accident, you see the medical officer, take a deep breath. If the fellow is in the deep, shouting, yelling, take a deep breath, breathe in, breathe out, breathe in. And you see how this breath, breathing in and breathing, calm down the mind. So for downness and drowsiness, for those people who always working with computer, staring at the, like you all, you know, and this square screen. So you meditate, like, it goes up. Don't be guilty, please. Don't be guilty over the whole issue. It's normal because you are over stressed. Your eye has been so tired. So when you meditate, you just doze off because you need to rest. Don't feel guilty that you fall asleep when you meditate. You won't be sentenced to death. Huh? No, don't worry. It's normal. Tell yourself it's okay because I'm too tired. Now, after that, you find that maybe you doze off for maybe 15 minutes, right? But make sure you're alone. Huh? Don't doze in the room with a lot of people meditating. Then people will get offended. If you're alone, and after the dozing off, you find that you feel very alert. You have some mental rest. Now, you go back to your breath. You find, oh, very easy to feel the in and out breath. You feel so refreshed, mentally charged. And then you see how your mind mingling out, very cheeky, and going out to your handphone again, going out again. You can tell yourself, no, back to your breath. Come on, for the next half hour, 1 hour, back to the breath again. You got to cultivate a kind of habit. This is cultivations. And again, if you want to do away with drowsiness and downness, you got to start training. And if you're serious, you got to walk. But again, you got to face the facts that we are all working people, and we spend a lot of time in thinking into this screen, so it's very tiring. And you are not allowed to sleep in the afternoon, right? Unless you're working at home. So COVID is very good. You make your work at home. You work as you like. You rest. You feel tired, you go and sleep. But you're in the office, you can't sleep. Your boss is watching you. All the CCTV is watching you. So it's quite stressful up there, right? But anyway, what I'm trying to say that if you feel tired, you go back home, take a bath, or don't take a bath, okay, just don't take food, don't take dinner, just rest, take a nap. After the nap, take a bath, then you sit. You'll find difference. You find the effect will be very good. And this drowsiness and dullness is easier because can be overcome in this one of the way. And one of the way is it has been explained by all the Kubati to imagine brightness, the sun, which is quite hard, but ask you all to turn on the light instead. The light in your room will be easier. It's a bright light. And by staring at the light for some time, maybe a few seconds, and you close out, you can see the image. The memory of the light will manifest in your mind. The brightness for a snap second and disappeared. Right? Like in the past, normally when we suffer this problem, we'll go into open field and then we stare. We will lie down and just open the eye and just relax. Let the attention shoot up to the star in the sky. And each star, we just focus and boom, shoot out the attention out there for a while. And then feel comfortable, you feel that okay, the mind is fully relaxed, you zoom back to your body. So whatever way that can, arouse your energy and effort and attention is good, right? And okay, something to do with dullness is sometimes is food, too much food, too much food, because sometimes it's so much food, you thought it was a wastage and you wall up everything, and after you go and sit, you fall asleep. This is one of the problems. Food, and too much food, so you've got to cut down food. Don't talk so much, and try to associate with the right person again. And like I say again, go to the open air. I share you all my experience. I just came back from Indonesia, and I can't go up to the open air. It's full of smoke, open burning of rubbish, of what we call it, plastic bag with the leaf on. Oh, after the rain, I thought, wow, it'll be a good day to meditate outdoor. 5 minutes, I run back to my room. Our neighbors start to burn. I said, oh no, burn the rubbish. I can't imagine the toxic from the plastic bag. That's why I'm suffering this headache on my right hand side until now. Yeah, still pain now. The whole part. It's not migraine, it's a toxic. So I come back to Singapore. I think hopefully you can recuperate from this plastic film that is stuck here. Yeah, it's very, very toxic. So Australia is good air. You have the fresh air. Yeah. But anyway, good air, good environments, good friends, and of course, less talk. Now, the fourth one of the cover is restlessness and remorse. Restlessness, remorse. In Pali, it's called Uddaca Kukuca. Uddaca Kukuca, right? That means your mind is restless. It's so hard to contain. It's just agitated, restless, a lot of agitation, but if you ask them to do certain things, they can do. Theoretical thing, typing, jobs, very good. But you ask them to meditate and just don't do anything, just sit there, they go crazy. this is why we call restlessness. It's restless. So how are we going to contain this kind of mind? How? Yeah. You can contain it with what? If you're so restless, you read a lot of books, Dharma books. Ask a lot of questions, right? And to kill your doubts. You're so restless now. And you have to accept that, okay, if I make certain mistake, we must acknowledge that we make a mistake. And be brave enough to own up the mistake. Then the mind will enter a state of acceptance. If not, it feels guilty inside there. So you always, will they know my mistake? What will people find out? Blah, blah, blah. So this kind of uncertainty or restlessness is boom, is bombing the mind, right? They always doubtful, very fearful, and it's very torturing. It's very torturing, right? And this state of mind, and then they can't sleep. They can't sleep, huh? They can't sleep, and but they can present themselves very well. But they are just crazy people. But they are smart, very smart. You give them anything, they feel they can do, they can really deliver very good result. But they are restless. They just can't sleep. They sleep, sleeping only. They just sleep. And we have to overcome this restlessness by cultivations of, we got to do a lot of what we call it tranquility meditations. Calm the mind. Calm the mind. So for me, I'm the type of I'm under this category, restlessness and remorse. Always very feel very guilty. Hey, am I doing things wrong? Oh no, why people look at me? So I suffered this mental torturing for many years. Yeah. And when I was a monk in Rayong, I was staying with Thanis Rapiku. And one day the thought just arose in me and said that you may think of all this nonsense thing that doesn't concern you. Why not you think of the body, my own body? And yes, I just refer direct the attentions of attending to my thinking on external thing, which is doesn't to do with me at all. I'm just capable, just busybody, you know, just worry about what happens if they don't do this, something will happen to them, what happens to clean the toilet will be stank, what happens to mop the floor, the ants will come, you know, just restless. I don't know why. Then later I start to think about my own body. I just scan my body, the whole, you know, the minute I scan my body, I feel the kind of relief and contentment of, I feel that I'm a human being back into the body. I can really feel back to my body. I feel so contented that I feel better. My mind is not so restless like last time because you have an anchor point. We know how to anchor the mind, which is we are aware that we are restless. This restless is just a mental state. It's not the mind. The mind is the aware. This is the byproduct of the mind that's restless. So what is protruding out there is thinking. It's just a symptom. So now, if we want to get rid of that, we have to direct this attention to the thinking back to the body. Because the body of ours is always in this present, right? So you think of the head, the eyes, your ears, your nose, your mouth, your right hand, the spinal, your neck, your spinal cord, your pelvic bone, your right leg, left leg, and you just go round and round and round and round, many rounds, not only one round. And so amazing effect happened. So amazing. The mind stopped thinking. The mind entered a state of no thoughts. and the whole universe just stop and sort of, wow, what is that? You know, there's a kind of, hey, what is this? Yeah, the mind stop thinking. Just that moment of that mind stop thinking already made me so happy. Oh, yo, so happy, so really, wow. At last, we develop a method in how to anchor our own mind back to our own body, even though it's our own mind, our own body. You can see how destructive it is for this mind to distract itself when it keep thinking, and it's so mentally stressed out, mentally pain, mentally stressed out, mentally down, and sort of, what the heck is happening with me? What am I doing wrong? I'm not doing anything wrong, but what is this happening to me? Because we never use the right methods. There's no one to tell me how am I going to do it. Everybody out there is telling me from the books. I know. I'm going to tell you, direct your mind back to your body and do the synchronizing, the scanning of your body, the different parts of body, part by part, slowly. The forehead, your right, left ear, eyes, your ears, your nose, your mouth, your shoulder, your hand, your left shoulder, your left hand, your shoulder blade, your chest, every part of the body, just scan. 1 round, 2 rounds, keep scanning. Then you find the benefit of scanning. You find this amazing effect that as you are scanning, directing attention onto your body, at the same time, you're also acknowledging, you can perceive that this thinking might still going on. It's just that we never bring it back. But because there's a tug of war inside there, the more we do it, and then the mindfulness grow, the power of mindfulness increase in this thought into your body, you will find that gradually this restless thought externally will loses its influence. It will subside gradually and no thoughts, and become you still scanning the body, still focusing attention on the body, round and round and round and round. Even though you may be listening to a talk, but at the same time, you can also do the scanning of body. You find the effect is there, right? You find the effect is there. Oh, you can do this thing. Yeah, you can really do it. And it's applicable to every human being. There's no restriction at all. And what are the qualifications we have? We do it. We have this body of ours. We have this very healthy mind. And your attention, awareness, just put attention into works. That's it. We have sati, sampajanya, mindfulness, right? Or directing of the mindfulness into the body. That's it. That's it. You got to do it in order to experience it. And because of that experience, and I double it up. That means I focus on the body whole day, whole night. Like what the sutta say, what has been explained in the sutta, we can really, really testify that what the Buddhas said in the Satipatthana Sutta is being verified by ourselves or by yourself. Then we can have the confidence that, oh yeah, it's true. This sutta take pass. Then we say, yeah. It's not that make believe. No, I don't. I'm a very stubborn people. I don't believe things easily, right? Yeah. Even though the people say, how dare you say that? I say, well, in the Kalama Sutta, what the Buddha said, don't believe. Yeah? In the Buddha Dhamma, Suwakato, Bhagavata, Dhammo, Santitiko, Akaliko, Epasiko, Opareko, Pachakta, Viditapo, Vinyuiti. Means what? You practice yourself, come and see for yourself. Yeah, we got to do it. If we see for ourselves, we verify, we experience, we know it, and we say, yeah, it's true. Then we have the confidence now, yeah, it's true. Right? Then we have no doubts. Right? And the doubt of restlessness and remorse, click, gone. We know how to do it today. And then the last one. Doubts. 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 A lot of people have doubts. We call it vichikicha. Vichikicha. Doubts. Nowadays, it's very easily to access in your computer, right? To recheck. But that is only in words. But what I'm telling you now is experience being shared, how you can do it, and how this thing can really help you. Yeah? The method used, and we don't have to borrow from anyone and another mind or on loan. No, everything is with is body and mind. Yeah, these two things. The Buddha say, what consists the makeup of a human beings? Body and mind. If there's no mind, there's body, we call it a dead body. We must have body and mind. And we have this body and mind. This body consists of what? We have body, whether you are male or female, right? We have body, we have feeling. We have eye contact. We have ear contact. Eye contact through what? Through sight. Ear contact through sound. Nose contact through smell. Taste contact through taste, right? And bodily contact, feelings, feeling cold, feeling heatiness, hot, feeling pain, feeling twinges, sensational feeling, right? This is called body. And we have the mind. This is mental state, mind state. We have mind. The mind means that what you are paying attention, listening now, you're listening to what? To your eyesight, watching, to your ear, hearing, and the mind, acknowledging. The mind, pay attention, acknowledging to what is heard, what is said, at the same time, think about it. Internally, your hardware inside your brain, you're evaluating yourself whether this is, yeah, okay, this is acceptable, this is not, I have some doubt in it, you see? So you can see, we have body, mind, body, feeling, then we have what? We call it perception or memories, right? Memory, and we have what? We have what we call the thinking mind. Thinking, it's not the mind, it's a thinking aspect, analytical aspect. You can analyze, you can think, you can consider. So this is, and you have what? The last one, consciousness. You're conscious of this body and mind. So inside your brain, you have all these three things. The body have two, but all joined together. We call it the 5 khandhas. The 5 khandhas. The 5 khandhas. And this is what makes us a human beings. And this is why we got to make use what has been troubling us all the while they cause us pain, to get up from the pain by understanding how this thing works, to the practice of satipatthana. That means the practice of mindfulness of the body. At first, it's the body first. As you practice along the way, these 4 things will come together. Vedana, Citta, Dhamma. All these are just theoretical part by part, they make it more synchronized into for easy understanding. But we start with the body first, and from the body we understand. Oh, if your body feel pain, how can your mind be happy? Your body feel heaty, feel hot, in distress. Of course, you feel agitated. They say that it's normal. But in the practice, we are taught to be tolerate, to be able to handle pain, to be able to handle stress. So we are taught to let the body, let the pain just be the body pain, but the mind don't get pain. But how? This is where the training comes in. That's why we got to have the kind of right understanding. We got to have the base of concentration, the kind of mental joints. And of course, I'm telling you because of my 40 over years of practicing, it sounds quite easy for me, but very hard to you. You might find what's happening out there, right? But it's normal. I was like you before. When I was listening to a talk, I scratch my head, think for a few days, I still don't understand. Even I become monk, I still don't understand. Until I practice, okay, I understand now. You need to practice, right? So I think I'll leave it to the floor if you have any question.
Thank you so much, Chao Khun. That was very, very practical, very useful, and very much on point. So thank you for sharing the Dhamma. To everyone who is online, as well as those who are in person, if you have any questions, if you are online, feel free to pop your questions into the chat. We still have about 25 minutes and we want to make the most of this time with Chao Khun here. For those who are here in person, you could just write your questions onto the pieces of paper and give them to me. Okay, so Chao Khun, just checking you're still there.
Yep, I'm still here.
Okay, great. All right. We just had the black screen of doom over there. So glad you're still there. Okay, so Chao Khun, we have some questions. The first question is this. In the method of scanning that you were talking about earlier, can you practice the breath meditation at the same time? That is to combine the two.
Hold on, I missed you because I was meddling with my screen. I'm blackout now.
You are, and I think it's because if you're on the phone, if you are reading the messages, you may not be able to see this. So I'll read out the messages to you, if that helps.
Okay.
Well, welcome back. We can see you now. So I'll just ask the question again. So the first question is this. In the method of scanning that you were talking about earlier, can one practice the breath meditation at the same time? That is to combine the two.
When you're scanning, you ignore the breath. Let the breathing breathe by itself. When you're scanning, your attention is on the scanning itself, right? So at the same time, you will also acknowledge there's breathing, but you are not sharp with the breathing. Let make it clear here. Breathing, you leave the breathing as it is. But when you are scanning the body, because attention is being synchronized into the scanning, the directing of the mind that flows into the body on the different part. Why I say that? Because you need to direct your attention. At the same time, you feel the direction that's going in order to anchor the mind back to this present moment. So that will be the first part we have to do until you can really experience that while you are scanning the body, you can also experience the mind that is thinking being the thought slow down and no thoughts. At the same time, the breath is still there. Because you're not breathing, you'll be dead. Yeah. So you are still breathing, right? So you're still breathing. But what I'm trying to do, we're using the scanning method.
Thank you. Thank you, Chao Khun. Second question. So someone has said that they have been practicing Bud on the breath in and Do on the out breath for 30 minutes a day, but they can't seem to get into samadhi. Am I on the right track?
You are on the right track. Why not you try today? Yeah. Try, please. Try it. Because like I say, we are speaking out from our experience. We are not speaking out from the books. Maybe this method suits me. I'm the kind of very outgoing people, like I say, and my mind is crazy, restless. So I need very high frequency, very heavy dose to subdue my crazy thought. So put too slow, can't, or be, oh, it's out there again. Until you almost go breathless. You see, after 15 minutes, the mind sort of enter samadhi. Try.
Very good. So Ajahn, we have someone here at the Metta Center who's asked this. Ajahn, in your recent biography, you shared on the power of intention, atitana, on how you decided to sit 3 hours at a time in meditation. I can imagine that in the beginning, it must have been quite painful. Can you share on how you overcame the difficulties of long sits? It is quite inspiring. I can imagine that the sits get easier with the power of samadhi. From your inspiration, I have tried similarly so, and it is indeed possible to sit for longer periods when the mind is calm. In fact, the body starts to disappear on longer sits. My question is, how long can one sit without physical damage to the body? I have heard stories of how longer-term meditators get blood clots from sitting too long. Is there a balance between sitting too short and possibly sitting too long?
Well, if you are thinking about Nibbana, thinking about getting out of suffering, we don't care about so much of the body, because we know that at the end of the days, our body going to die. And if I can meditate and break through sitting, I will not do anything evil or unwholesome. I think it's a worthwhile. It's very worth to exchange this body for something that is noble and holy. You want to really go for it to get rid of this suffering of your mind. And of course, if you were to rely so much on the medical world telling you not to do this, not to do that, well, then you will be under the advice of the medical world, and you can't do anything. At the end of the day, you can't do this and you can't do that, and you won't be doing at the same time. You will sort of, now you regret when you're getting all the time. Then you say that I should have listened to Ajahn Keng instead of the doctor. Yeah. Like for example, you're talking about the pain. You got to endure. There's no such thing as no pain. You can ask all the teachers on earth that sit long meditation. There's no such thing as no pain and no backache or no tight stiffness and this and that. Well, this is the body, and we can relieve this kind of, we can offset this pain or so-called imbalance of the posture that is with yoga stretching. Don't worry. Don't worry. Yeah. But last time we were, when we were in a full swing at time, we didn't care. We didn't care about how this body is going to be like. We don't care. Just die. Do or die. So it must have that kind of mindset. Then you can have that kind of vigor and encouragement to fight for it. If not, you're something like, I must wait until everything is very safe, tested, then I do. You will never do, because you're so scared to make mistake. And let me tell you, in practicing of meditation, you must, I use the word trial and error. Because something works for me doesn't mean it will work for you. right? But sitting long in meditation, does it reap benefit? Definitely. Definitely it will reap benefit. You will kill your doubt in what we call samadhi. Do I answer your question?
Yes, I think very well so. So take away, die you die. Keep practicing. So Ajahn, we have another really good question. So this is another meditator. This person says, I would like to ask, there are times after meditation for a while, I cannot feel my own body. The breathing becomes subtle. So I'm not sure where to anchor my object to. However, I can know my mind is in the present moment, just that I do not know what to do in that space.
How long have you been meditating before you reach a stage?
Good question. So the person who asked this question, if you could just answer that question in the chat, or you can unmute yourself. Chao Khun, do you mean how long they've been meditating before they get to that state, or how long they can stay in that state? They said actually not long, for 1 year. Oh, I think they misunderstood. I think, Chao Khun, you're asking in that sit, how long do you sit before you get into that state? We're just waiting for that answer. About 1 hour. So they meditate for 1 hour and then they get into that state.
Okay. And does it happen very frequently or just once?
Okay. Just waiting for the answer. So this person, few times, sometimes I chant 108 times Itipiso, so I also feel it so.
Okay, sometimes yes, sometimes no, right? Okay, now you must have this understanding that it's just a mind state. The mind just enter a mind state of what you're experiencing now, right? And after you come out, you understand, oh, just now my mind entered a state of nothing. The body disappeared, the breath disappeared, and it's just the awareness. Correct? Correct?
So does that make sense to the person who asked the question?
Did he or she answer?
Correct. The mind very sharp and clear in that stage.
Okay. Now you just focus on that clarity. That will be your focus.
Okay.
Now, when you have focus in that clarity under certain time, you discover that I'm like floating, like you can't anchor anymore. Now I want you to recite that you were saying that you chant the Itipiso, repeat the Itipiso again to reinstate back that mindfulness, because you're losing the state of concentration already.
Okay.
To recollect back again.
Okay, very good. Thank you. So if this person has anything else, they said, okay, thank you, Ajahn. So very good. Okay, next question. Thank you, Ajahn, for your very informative talk. It was very helpful. Regarding the fourth hindrance, restlessness and remorse, I have a strong tendency to finish my thoughts before I am able to let go and move on. Otherwise, the unfinished thoughts will keep coming back. How do I overcome this?
You got to look. Okay, like I said before, the thoughts or the thinking forms part and parcel of life, right? And if you think skillfully regarding to your scope of responsibility, that is good. You got to do it. But if you think that if the thought that arises in you is not skillful and it's nothing to do with anything, then just ignore and just back to the present. Okay.
Great, thank you. Ajahn, we have someone here at Metta Center asking this question. Venerable, would you say that focusing on the body or breath allows the mind to focus on one thing only, the same way as the mind can't be in two states of mind at the same time?
Please repeat your question.
Yep. Venerable, would you say that focusing on the body or breath allows the mind to focus on one thing only, the same way as the mind can't be in the two states of mind at the same time?
Oh, yes. You can focus on two things, but you'll be a split diversion of attentions. You'll be split. You can't see clearly. Just like when you are driving, right? When I give you an analogy, when you are driving, you're concentrating on your way of approach in the front. So you're driving, right? But at the same time, while you are driving, you also you'll be awareing people walking on the left, on the footpath. You can see these people who are latched to a dog or cat walking on the street, but you know it's a dog or cat, but you don't know what kind of dogs. Maybe the color is striking. You can see that it's a black dog, it's a white dog, but what kind of dog you don't know. Or there's a car, red car, but what model you don't know, what number you don't know. You got to what? Really switch your attention to see. Oh, that car 1, 2, 3, 4. That dog is a golden retriever. Did you get me?
Yes.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
Thank you. Another question. How to maintain mindfulness all day? Does chanting a mantra like Bud-dho help when I do my daily things like walking, cooking, etc.?
Yeah, you maintain what you're doing, you're cooking, you know, just do a cook. Just you see, when we're talking about mindfulness, what the whole day doesn't mean that you got to instill more tension. Just be mindful. Just cooking, know that you're cooking, enjoy your cooking, enjoy your food, everything. Just be mindful. When you talk about mindfulness, it means be aware of what you are doing at the present moment, of what you are doing right there, right moment. You're mindful. Understand?
Yes, thank you. And just one more question that's coming. Sometimes when I meditate for 2 to 3 hours, the mind becomes calm and it feels like a 1 hour sit. It's like time flies by very quick. In this state, there are no thoughts, no body, no object, just awareness. In fact, picking up an object seems too much to do. Any advice for the next steps?
Okay. Every day, you're doing the thing every day?
Sometimes, exclamation mark.
Okay, if you are doing every day, then I will advise you to induce, we call vipassana, we induce contemplations of things that's happening that will diffuse this craving. You can diffuse by contemplating a lot of things in terms of the impermanency of things externally and internally. That means while we are experiencing, we look at other people's life, the status and their loss of status, their big house becomes small house, their big car becomes small car, the uncertainty of that happening in our circle of people around us, we see them. Externally and internally, the kind of mind state is changing within ourselves and externally, other people, the same thing. So if we can do that kind of cross-reference, I use the word cross-reference contemplation, then we will come to a mutual understanding that, oh yeah, what the Buddha says is true. Why we want you to do that? so that you don't get so attached, so that you will have the insight into the reality of life. You can accept what is happening out there, the uncertainty of life, whether it strikes us or it doesn't strike us. We know that this is something is real.
Thank you, Chao Khun. One last question, Chao Khun. Metta Centre will be organising an event called Metta Convention in September, and there is one day, and we're going to invite different speakers, and we have Tuesday free, and we would love to invite you on the 26th of September for this evening, and it's an open evening, so we can do anything you like on that day to share the Dhamma with others. Would you be able to attend?
26th of
September.
Let me write it down first.
Yay! I'm taking that as a yes.
No, I got to check my calendar first. I write down because I need to write down. I got too much invitation all over the place, and sometimes I don't write down.
Yes.
And I need to write down in order to remember to key into my my smartphone. If not, sometimes 3 invitations in one day and 3 cars come. I say, what's this? You told us you're coming to my house. I say, oh. I forgotten, yeah. So I was quite embarrassed over the issue and said that, Then they said that, so how? They say, okay, we have a few monks here, so 2-3 monks go one house. And then he said that, so you go which house? I said, I would hit and kill three of you, write one number. Whoever give me the number, I go their house. I mean, so from that experience, I need to write down. I too much thing here is going on here.
Understood. I still have a paper diary. I'm very old-fashioned, and if it's not in my diary, it's not going to happen because I'll forget as well.
Yeah. Sure. Likewise.
Yeah. Well, I think yours one is probably busier than mine.
Yeah.
And the Monday of the Metta Convention, Venerable Dhammadaro will be opening and doing a keynote as well. So he'll be participating as well. And on that evening, we have Bhante Sujato and Ajahn Brahmali who'll be doing a trivia. So we're going to ask them some tricky Dhamma questions and see how they answer that. So that's the first night. On the Wednesday, we have a dhammatalk from Bonhum Sunim. And on the Thursday, we have Jetsuma Tenzin Pamo, who will be doing that Q&A session. And then on the Friday, we have a dinner. And on Saturday and Sunday, we have a full event where we've got speakers from all around the world, from the different traditions, all coming together to give various talks. So the Tuesday is quite a special evening, and we would like to keep that free for you if you are available. And we can do anything that you like on that evening, as you wish.
I thought Dhammadaro would be in England.
Yeah, so he'll be doing it by video. We are very
video. Okay.
Yeah, so we would love to have you here in person, but otherwise video is okay as well.
Let me check it out, and I check it out. I get back to you when I reach Victoria first.
Thank you. Oh, and when are you coming back to Australia?
I plan to spend my vasa in Australia this year because last year the flood has caused some trouble to the monastery, and I'm going to do this what they call that flood prevention. I need to do some digging around the temple to make what they call that a bunker wall.
Yes.
To prevent the water from coming in, and I'm going to dig a lot of hole in the temple to store all this heavy rainfall into the, and then I will prepare a lot of palm in case after all this measure been made, then if the water still rise, then we can palm up, so it doesn't damage the Sala Hall.
Very good. So we look forward to having you back on our Australian shores very soon then.
Sure, sure.
And so Sin will be in touch with you about the Metta Convention and give you some more details as well. So thank you again so much, Chao Khun. We really appreciate your Dhamma sharing today and answering all our questions. And thank you also for accepting our offer to take us on a Thai pilgrimage at the end of the year. So we will talk more about that as well. For everyone who are here online, we invite you to join us in Thailand for us on a very special pilgrimage with Chao Khun Keng. So all the details are on our website. I'm now going to hand over to Elise. Thanks, Elise.
Thank you, Chao Khun, for sharing your wealth of knowledge with us and all the helpful tips that indeed needs to be implemented into our lives. And yes, we are very grateful for your support for Metta Center as well. And thank you everyone for being here today and for all the wonderful questions and also your presence and energy in this talk. So before we finish off, Chao Khun, we'd like to invite you to give a dedication of merit for the closing, if that's okay.
Sure. Okay, think in your heart, think in your heart. By the power of the triple gems and all the goodness you have done in the past until now, be dedicated to your departed relative, your debtors, your parents, your beloved one, and devas, all the angels that's guiding the world, right? And beings in the life cycle of birth, aging, illness, and death. May they all rejoice in this merit and may they gain a better rebirth. Yatha varivaha pura paripurenti sakarang eva meva nito tinna bhetana upakapati Ichitan baditan domang kipameva samichato sabe purendo sankapa Chando panaraso yatha maricho diraso yatha Sapidiyo vivanjantu saparogo vinasatu Made bhavavantrayo asukhi dikayugo bhava Abhivadana silisa nitta mukha pacaino Tataro dhamma vadanti Ayuvanno sukhan Bala bhavatu sabamangala rakhantu sabadevata Sabha buddhanubhavena sadasoti bhavantu te Bhavatu sabamangala rakhantu sabadevata Sabha dhammanubhavena sadasoti bhavantu te Bhavatu sabamangala rakhantu sabadevata Sabha sanghanubhavena sadasoti bhavantu te.
Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.
May all be peaceful and healthy. May all your radiant hopes be fulfilled.
Thank you, Chao Khun. Thank you so much. And before we finish off, we'd like to give some exciting announcements of Metta Center's upcoming events, which Tina has already said some of it, but there is more. So next Wednesday, we have Bhante Rakita speaking on the topic of the mind's magic show. So perception, mindfulness, and the art of not taking it seriously. So same time, same place next week. Join us also for our non-residential 2 days meditation retreat with Venerable Vimoka on the weekend of 8th and 9th of July. So it'll go from 9:30 to 5 o'clock, and this will be a non-residential retreat. We also have a residential retreat, which is called the Buddhist Detox Retreat. So if you need some Buddhist detox, which I think we all do, please come. So you'll be on the weekend of 19th and 20th of August. So for more information, please check out our Metta Center website, and that will be in Katoomba. And we also have a special event. It's called the Relationships Workshop. So if you want to enrich your connection with your partner or loved ones or people that you care, come to our Relationships Workshop with Karen Gills, and that will be on Saturday, 15th of July. And as Tina has mentioned previously, we will be having a Metta Convention week, as well as the Metta Conventions. And Sinsin has just posted the links online. So come for the Metta Olympics, playing games of loving kindness. And as well, our Buddhist pilgrimage in Thailand. Please check out our website as well. And last but not least, we have new and exciting project that's about to launch, and it's called the Metta Connections. So Tina, would you like to expand on the Metta Connections?
Yeah, thanks, Elise. So the Metta Connections is something that we are about to launch, and the intention of this is to connect lay Buddhists with the practice of right livelihood. So most of us spend a lot of time at work, so we want to use this as a space for all of us to practice right livelihood, to bring the Dhamma practice into whatever it is that we do, but also to give back to the Buddhist community as well. So it's an online platform where you can register your interest and you can write down what kind of profession or skill that you have. And so if there is a Buddhist temple or Buddhist organization that needs some help, then those organizations can come onto our website, and after on that website, they will be able to find out information about what kind of projects are available. They can also look for professionals. So for example, Chao Khun, if your temple needs some people to come and help you, they can also go on the website, and then they could see whether or not there is people who would be willing to provide that assistance, either on a pro bono basis, on a reduced fee basis, or at least you have a Buddhist ethical person who'll be coming to help at the temple. So that's the intention. So I really invite all of you to check out Metta Convention, sorry, I've got too much going on, Metta Connections, and also register yourself as a lay Buddhist practicing right livelihood in the work that you do. So thanks everyone.